beautiful blind beauty.
Hello everyone and welcome to Blind Beauty. I'm Jennifer. So what we're going to do today, and we're going to try to speed through this a little bit so that it's not too terribly long, but we're going to talk about correcting and concealing. If you see my face, if you can see this right here, I've got dark spots on my face, I've got darkness under the eyes. I don't have a whole lot of problems, but I do have those couple problems. And I'm going to tell you, or show you rather, how I combat that, as well as show you the other concealers as well, and tell you what they will cover. And I do have little cheat sheets here, note cards. But, so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. But we're going to go ahead and jump on in here and get started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a flatter brush. Now you can use any small flat brush to do this. And I'm going into the NYX Dark Circle Concealer Corrector. Looks like this here. I believe it's in the medium shade. But I'm going into that. That's what it looks like. It's a peachy toned, and that helps combat the dark circles. And I get some on my brush. Good amount on my brush, and then I'm going mainly on those dark areas under the eyes. Just tapping it in. But you don't want to go too heavy. But you want to get right up under that lash line on my eyes at least, because there is some darkness there. I have two different sponges I'm going to show you and discuss as well whenever we go to blend out. But the main products, this is the only product that I'm using of the color corrector variety at least, that's not a Shop Miss A product, which is, that's a, I think $5, $6, $7, something like that for that one. But now I'm going in with the Shop Miss A AOA Studio stuff, and this is, I'm going in, if I can find it here, going in with the shade Peach, like I said, if I can find it, right here. Okay, and that other shade was a peachy tone. Whoops. I got some right on, or no, I didn't blend the moisturizer. Getting tongue-tied this morning. But I'm going to take this right here. It's the peach shade of the Wonder Cover by AOA Studio. And if you can tell, I've got some darkness on the eyes. Now, I do have some darkness on the eyes, so if I take this here and just dot mainly on that inner corner area on each eye. You do this all before foundation, or at least I do. Some people might not, but I do. I know Emily Noel, she puts it on after foundation. Whoops! Didn't put enough on that other side, I guess. This stuff does spread out fairly easy, and yes, I am blending it over the eyelid. All the way across the eyelid on that one side. But I'll go ahead and add a little bit more to this other side so that it is at least somewhat even. And forgive any noise you may hear in the background. It is still rather warm at night here. Night, early morning. It is about 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m., something like that. I need to get me a clock and put in here. I've got one downstairs. I can move in here, but that right there just kind of cancels out the darkness. Now, before that NYX one sets, I'm taking the Whispers sponge. Looks like this here, and I'm going to blend that out in that area just a little bit. I'm going to go in with the Miracle Complexion sponge and really blend everything out whenever I put on my foundation especially, but this right here is a more concentrated you can really get in that inner corner. The problem I have with the AOA Studio stuff is that it seemed to really blend away too easy for me. Now, I didn't have all these lined out exactly. This is the green shade of the AOA. Now, I'm going to zoom you back out a little bit. But this is the green shade in the AOA Wonder cover. And, like I said, I'm looking over in the mirror to my left. Probably your right. And I've got some spots right in here. And actually I'm going to show you a couple different things here, and I've got more over here. We're going to take this green and go on some of these lighter red spots. And one way you can do this if you're using a doe foot applicator like this, you can put your finger right near the area and then dot it on. And then I kind of just tap it in a little bit. Green neutralizes red. So, and then you'll do a little bit over here on the corner of the mouth. It's hard for me to see redness unless it's really bad redness sometimes, so. But that's that on that side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the orange color, which is supposed to, on my skin tone, which is a medium deep skin tone especially, it's supposed to help neutralize anything, pretty much. So I'm going to show you how that would do on these dark spots right here. But with this here, I don't agree that it does that really, because, you know, my skin coloring, you know, I'm wanting to neutralize the red. See that big old orange spot there? But I'm going to blend that out some more here in a moment. I'm just using my fingers to kind of tap that in. I used way too much. That's the only thing with these types of things. It's hard to get just a tiny, tiny bit because you're not using an actual brush. So, it's hard to pinpoint it where exactly you want it, because I can still see, and if I can still see it, I'm sure many of y'all can, I can still see some of the redness poking through there. You know, and I can take that and go under the chin, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the green shade for under the chin and everything. It's a little bit difficult to see under the chin. I pluck hairs, so I get little red bumps. Okay, and see I've got several over here, so do it this way. Sorry if I'm not in frame. I get chin hairs that I have to pluck out, and being visually impaired, I don't always get them, and I end up making sores because I get skin instead of hairs. So, but that right there, you can tell if you went overboard with this stuff, you could look like a Oompa Loompa. Well, not Oompa Loompa. Well, the orange you could. I could look like an Oompa Loompa Doopity-doo. And I really don't want to look like an Oompa Loompa. I really don't. But since there is such a bigger area with this, I am using the Real Techniques complexion sponge. And first I'm going to start on this orangey area. And you don't want to sit there and rub whenever you have concealer on. Tap. Okay, so see that right there, the oranginess did not go away. You know, or the redness rather does not seem to have gone away. Now, over here, the redness does seem to have gone away. And then also, well, I guess we're not going to have to go through every color. But this one right here is the yellow. Let me go through this real quick. The peach is supposed to help with dark circles and dark spots. Orange is for dark circles and brown spots on medium to dark skin, and the peach is for light to medium skin. Yellow is mild redness, all skin tones, and it can also help with blue/purple spots like under eye circles. It can help with that as well for medium to dark skin tones. And that's what I'm about to go into now. I get a little red sometimes around the nose or on the nose, different areas. So I'm going to take this and go around the nose and like right under the nose area. And I'm also going to go under the eyes a little bit more too, because I didn't put a whole lot of that. This is the yellow shade, and I'm putting it mainly on the inner half, I guess, of under the eye. Not doing any special huge triangle like I would do. And then I'm going, actually yes I am, because I'm going to take it and go down basically the side of the nose from the inner corner. And I'm going right to the tear duct. I mean, whenever I say inner corner, I mean inner corner. And then we're going down the sides of the nose. It's not necessarily even Steven, but, you know, oh well, that's okay, right? Right. But, and then because I did that little area, I'm using the Swisspers sponge. These are, you can find these at Walmart. I think I even saw them at my little Walmart I've got here. I've got a neighborhood market in my area. And they had a package of these, which I've already had mine, or else, yeah, I probably would have bought one. But I've already ruined one of the sponges. These don't hold up too well for me. I guess I'm too rough on them. Me? Rough? Never! We'll go ahead and talk about the other things here. Lavender. I've got the lavender here as well. Looks like this one here. It's for dull yellow skin, which to me, I can't really tell that I have any yellow besides what I put on there intentionally. But it's supposed to be for light to medium skin. And like I said, the green is for redness. It says redness for light to medium skin. But, you know, I'm sure, well, it helped with light redness on me. I think, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, right here is the beige. But if you're going to use one that is really different than your normal skin tone, like that there, then I recommend doing that even before, because that's too pinky, I guess, on me. But I recommend doing that before foundation, if need be. But for me, I'm going to be using a lighter foundation. Hopefully it'll work. Hopefully it doesn't look too crazy. But I have actually done the green and then used my Dream Wonder Fluid Touch before. So if I can do that and get away with it, I can probably do this here. This is the Maybelline Dream Pure BB Cream. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to dot it all over my skin first. I'm using a little bit bigger than a pea size amount, and I rub it between my fingers and then just kind of tap it all over. Do a couple taps on the forehead. I'm going to do just a little bit more, just because I didn't really get all that I want covered. That's the thing with rubbing your fingers together. You can't always get it exactly where you want it. So, then I take whatever's left and put it on my chin. Which, okay, then I'm taking the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge, and you dab this out. I'm going to put actual concealer on the eyes here in a little bit, so I'm not all that worried about the eyes. If you drag, you're likely to move that concealer around. And you don't want to move the corrector around because you worked hard to put it on there. But you want to make sure you really get everywhere. And this has a little pointy end, which is great for getting that inner corner. Now it doesn't get as into it as that Swiss Bros sponge, but it does work. Now I know I put some on my, under my chinny chin, but I didn't really do a whole lot on the forehead, because you can tap and drag on areas especially that you did not put concealer or corrector. And even if you did, you can still lightly tap and drag. And just because I'm a little bit nervous about that little area over here, I'm going to do just a tiny bit more on my finger. Maybe, if it'll come out for me. There we go. Tiny bit more, and I find the little area, and then just dot a little bit of that there, and then I'll go back over here. Oh, just a tiny bit there, tiny bit there. And you don't want to forget the upper lip, which I do forget that quite a bit. But then I take the sponge again and just tap, 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 tap. Beat that face, beat that face, beat, 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 beat that face. No, you don't want to hit too hard. You're kind of just bouncing it all along your face. I always drag it down the neck a little bit. So, see, that orange did not do hardly anything over here, but that green, the thing is with that stuff, it kind of blends away, like I said. Okay, now I'm going in. You got a few choices here, but I'll explain concealer here in a moment. But I'm going in with the Fit Me concealer, since that area did not cover like I wanted. I'm going to dot this right on those areas on my left hand side. And just because I'm feeling froggy, you want a concealer that closely matches your skin tone, and that's where having somebody help you pick out concealer can help, because otherwise it can look really messed up if you don't have the right shade concealer for your skin. Use the Miracle Complexion Sponge to blend out that concealer and blend it in with the foundation. Now I'm going to show you with this other here. This is the e.l.f. Studio Concealer and Highlighter. Actually, it just says highlighter. Oh, and under eye concealer, which I'm not using it for under eye concealer because it is awful. But I will use it to highlight. So this is in the shade medium, I believe. I'm using the concealer side though. Taking it down the nose, make a little fan shape. Tap it on the high points of my cheeks. Reinforce that fan a little bit. Cupid's bow. Right there in the double chin. Because that's one thing people do use concealer for, is to highlight as well. Like if you have one that's way too light, you want to blend using that sponge again. So that one I'm just not too happy with the coverage of it, honestly, on its own. So, and see, I didn't even cover up that spot with my, whatchamacallit. But just to highlight under the eyes a little bit, I'm going to take, this is another type of concealer which is very difficult to use for beginners, so I don't really recommend it. It is the Maybelline Master Conceal, and I got the shade, oh, I got light, but still, I mean, it doesn't even take like a pinprick almost of this stuff. And then I'm going to take it and go on my middle finger and ring finger both, because I want to diffuse that, because this stuff spreads like, well, honestly, it spreads like wildfire. So, well, at least to me it does. That's why I do so little of it, because if you conceal really well, color correct really well, you really won't need a anything under the eye unless you want to highlight a little bit more. So, okay. Always remember to blend. And just to add brightness, oh, there it is. Okay, I'm using the brightener shade. Had to look and see which one it was. And the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. I just clicked it up. I took the little puff thing off. And I'm going to use this on the eyelids, actually, is what I'm doing. I'm going to tap it between the pointer finger and ring finger. And rub it. Or not ring finger, middle finger. And no, I'm not trying to flip y'all off, I promise you. But I first put it on that inner corner, and this is where it just helps knock out any discoloration that there might be, and I'm using it as a primer today for my look I'm going to do later on. Make sure to blend that out as well. So that right there, see how bright-eyed I look? You know. And then I'm going to blend out that under eye a little bit more. You go overboard putting too much stuff under there, and I did quite a few, which normally I wouldn't do for everyday makeup, but I kind of went heavier there than I normally do. And eyelash got in my eye, I think. But that right there is concealer, and I have discussed pretty much everything I have in front of me here. Because the Maybelline Fit Me, let me go through real quick and tell you what level of coverage things are. The e.l.f. one that I said I do not like, if you have very little issues to conceal, you might like that. But otherwise, I don't recommend it. If you're wanting to do a more natural, you don't need a whole lot of darkness coverage, this L'Oreal CC Under Eye Concealer is good. The Maybelline Instant Age Rewinds, they're wonderful, period. So, they're like a more medium coverage. But one, like, the Fit Me that I used today, now that is more of a medium coverage, and I guess the Rewind would be medium plus. I don't know how you say that, really. But, you know, still, and I'm looking to make sure I've got everything here. And then, the Master Conceal, it's a step up from the Rewind. But you have to be very careful with that because you can go overboard with it. Because I practically do, usually. Now, you can use a regular powder. And that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm taking my e.l.f. HD powder. This is one of the best powders for setting under the eye. Take this as a small tapered brush from e.l.f. as well. I took the little sifter thing out because I'm so low on this. And sweeping this under the eye. And I'm going on top of the eye too. On the lid, I mean. I'm not doing real heavy, but like I said, under the eye and on the lid. And that right there is the concealer, correcting and concealing. Sorry that I wasn't looking at the camera the entire time. I was just trying to make sure I had everything in this basket here. This is pretty much everything, I believe, that I used today. So, well, plus a couple extra shades of things, like the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. But that right there is the foundation and concealer. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below. And I do hope that I see you around. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank you so much for watching this video and taking the time out of your day to do that. So, I hope that you do subscribe so that you can see whenever I do post a new video. I also hope that you follow us on all of our social media as well. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Pinterest, as well as I have a blog where I post different topics on as well that may pertain to this video, may not. I will be posting links in the section down below to where you can find that blog and find all the links to my social media, so I hope you subscribe. Thank you. Photos in this video were done by GMC Photo Editing. So I hope that you will check that page out on Facebook, and I will leave the link down below for you to click on it. So check it out and show her your support.